just kind of back to the old Kyle Hart the last couple of years.
Well, yeah, he's like I say, he's done it before, and we've been looking for that consistency out of him. But he was a three-pitch guy, and he had all three of them working today, and we needed that. This is a big win, and not just for the team, but also for him to get him back on track personally. Because I struggled a little bit early, but if you noticed the last, last game on Sunday down in Jacksonville, we closed with him, and our whole motto at this point is one game at a time, and that was a great performance by him today.
What impresses you more, 8 strikeouts or 0 walks?
Well, I'll let you, you know me, 0 walks, because that was his problem early in the season. You can't defend a walk, and he really commanded the zone today.
Was there, has he had any control problems since that first week, basically, or is there anything he's had to work through, or was that just kind of, you looked at that one as an anomaly now?
Yeah, and I think I said it was at the time that was kind of an anomaly for him. And anytime you do that, though, it rocks you a little bit because you're trying to search for answers, and it's just you get back to what you do, which is work hard every day and have confidence in your stuff, and I think he did that today.
How much do you think it helps his confidence when you guys are able to score 2 right off the bat in that first inning?
That's big. We've not. We've through the first 14 games, we really haven't given our pitchers that luxury. So, I would say that certainly played into it. Hopefully, as we get into a little bit more of a rhythm here offensively, get outside some more, that we can allow our pitchers to pitch with a lead and help them settle in a little bit.
You've already, like you said, you used him as a closer last week. Basically, what do you envision his role as going forward? Do you feel like he is your midweek guy for now, or what are you?
We're still. We've talked about it. We'll let it play out. Guys keep doing well. We're going to keep giving him the baseball. He started on the weekends before, but I hope that he can. If he throws like that, there's no doubt, and so we'll build off of that one and see how it goes. And like I said, we're focusing on the next game only.
You mentioned just how important this game was for the team, basically. How big is it again to beat a ranked team? Considering what you're trying to do RPL.
Well, that was the big part, the huge part for us. We talked about it because we stumbled a little bit early. And these games, you have limited opportunities. You got to take advantage of them, and that's why you saw us use who we used, even in that scenario. It's a bullpen day for Joey Donato, but getting that leadoff out in the ninth versus one of the best hitters in the country, we're going to use him. So I think that win's going to pay dividends, not just today, but down the road.
Just talk about the atmosphere today. What was it like?
It was great. And that's what people fail to realize, that when you're a team from the north, you're playing a lot of baseball on the road, and you're playing in that environment when they're rooting against you. It's nice for our guys to come back and have people pulling for them, and I think the energy level helped, and get those bats jump started a little bit too.
7 runs on 6 hits. How proud were you of how efficient you guys were on offense?
Yeah, we got some 2-out hits, and generally in baseball, when you get the 2-out RBI, you got a good chance of winning. But I thought our guys that needed to hit in crucial situations did a good job of it today. We took advantage of it. If you're to draw it up, that's what it's supposed to look like. Good pitching, pretty good defense, and you get your timely hitting. So baseball is a funny game, though. It could change on a dime, so we're not going to sit here and say problem solved, but it certainly is something to build on.
The Moose obviously started to get some hits lately, but what did it mean to see him just really get into one?
Yeah, that was nice because truthfully, we've struck some balls really well over the past 2 weeks. We played in some really, really cavernous yards. We're going to play in it this weekend at Long Beach State. So I've not been too concerned about our offense and our power. It's nice to get home and some of those balls actually carry over the fence.
Can you talk about going forward without Halstead in the bullpen?
Well, it's one of the, we got plenty of guys that I think are capable. It's just now mixing and matching and trying to play matchups until somebody settles in that role, if anybody settles in that role. We've said, and I'm going to say it again, we're going to try to win one game at a time. And if we got to use, and I know you don't believe me, but if we got to use 3 starters to get that done, we're going to do it because every single game is important for us moving down the schedule. But we've got plenty of guys that are capable. The only difference between them and Halstead is Halstead was a proven guy. He was experienced, and that's the one thing that we can't replace.
Who else are you looking at as a possible 9th inning guy beyond Efros? Obviously, that's one option, but who else kind of fits that mold?
Well, Jay Kelser has the stuff, and he's the guy that if you could wave a magic wand and say that automatic, that's what it would be. That would be the best fit. But what you don't have is that experience piece and how he's going to react. And young guys have a tendency to be inconsistent sometimes. the stuff is clearly there, but if we can piece it together, play matchups, I think we got some very capable guys that haven't pitched a lot yet, but as we get into the Big Ten season, I know their roles are going to be more valuable. Brian Cordy and Thomas Belcher really did a nice job down in Florida too. So there's some guys that'll get it done.
What are you liking in the lineup with Rodriguez in between Schwarber and Travis?
Him hitting. It just allows us to be a little bit more flexible with Kyle. Kyle can run too, and so we can, the hit and run option. We're not afraid to run. Rodriguez can drop a bunt down, move runners. It just gives us, and I've said it from the day that we did it down in Louisville, it gives us a little bit more flexibility in our lineup. We're not as station to station when we split those guys up a little bit.
Started the season 2-5, and looking ahead to this weekend, what do you think has made the difference in this little run, and where's this team in terms of your expectations?
Well, we came back. We weren't feeling real good about ourselves coming back from Jacksonville. And even though we won 2 out of 3 on the road, we still felt like we had some things to work out. And from a team concept, this was a good team effort today. Guys were into the baseball game, so that's going to be our focus moving forward. And I think we've got some work to do there, but we're getting close. We're getting close, and if we can have her nailed down by the time we start conference, then that's kind of the purpose of what we're doing.
I guess what did bother you in Jacksonville?
I don't think we weren't real team focused. We weren't, and nothing overt or anything like that, but in terms of approaches at the plate, in terms of just not what I would call Indiana baseball, of always hustle, always paying attention, doing what we're supposed to do. And that's something we addressed that day or that weekend, something we addressed internally yesterday as a team. And the guys, they knew it. It wasn't just me. We did not feel good about taking 2 out of 3 down there. And so when winning ceases to become fun on that, then you address it. And I think the guys did a really nice job of that and getting into each other and winning a baseball game regardless of who gets the credit. That's going to be success, consistent success for us this year.